All right, this is a quick video on just how to take good care of your cast net. The cast nets, they're expensive, especially if you're in the 10+ foot range. A lot of them are over $100. So it's just obviously good to take care of them so they last a long time. And the good news is a lot of it's just very easy to do. There's nothing that's very labor intensive. So let's go ahead and get started. And what we'll cover are just really the three things that really are bad for cast nets, that tear up cast nets. That's sunlight, salt, and holes. So we'll address each of those in that order. So first of all, sunlight. Always good to have the cast net in a bucket while out in the boat. Again, you want the direct sunlight to be as minimal as possible. And even when not using it, I used to have a lid, but the lid blew off a long time ago, so I don't have one. But I actually just put my wading boots or put shoes, flip-flops, whatever, put them at the top of the bucket. That way, again, they'll block the sunlight from hitting the actual net. So at all points possible, do not have the net out in the direct sunlight. What sunlight does, it'll just make the line brittle, and you can't really recoup from that. The other thing is salt. Salt is bad for the net. Once salt water dries, it'll leave the little salt crust, if you will, and it'll get inside the knots. And as you move the net with the salt inside the knots, it'll weaken the knots, and again, it'll just significantly decrease the life of your net. So when you're done throwing the cast net in salt water, be sure to wash it thoroughly. Just to have a hose, rinse it down, and better yet, as I soak it in just fabric softener. This is just, you don't have to have the fancy kind of liquid fabric softener. Any kind works. I just have a little cheapo stuff from Publix. But what I do is I put about a cap full and get a bucket like this, which is probably maybe a 3-4 gallon bucket, cap full of softener, fill it up the bucket with hose and enough to cover the net. Put the fabric softener on top of it so the net is completely submerged, and let it sit for maybe 2 to 3 hours. And you can even do it overnight. I don't think a long soak will hurt it. But what that does though is that the fabric softener makes it smell better, which is great, but it also lubricates the mono. All right, so the third thing is holes. If you do get a hole in your net, which you're prone to do if you're throwing it near rocks or any kind of structure, you're eventually going to get a tear. And even if you end up netting some really big fish, they're going to make some tears in it. So if you do get holes, or really when you do get holes, be sure to repair them as soon as possible. Because if you let them stay, they'll just grow and grow and grow, and you'll lose more and more bait because of them. Bonus tip, storage advice. Here's some good advice to make your net last as long as possible, and that is to store it indoors. A cool, dry environment is really key to help this mono stay just nice and clean and lubricated. So clean it, rinse it with fabric softener so it smells nice and you can actually bring it indoors. But and then again, let it dry and then put it indoors. Because again, a cool, dry environment makes this mesh just last longer than ever possible. If you keep it in your garage or out in like an old hot storage container somewhere or in the boat, it's going to wear down on it. So keep it inside, take care of your cast net, don't waste money, and don't ruin your net. And if you do have any questions though, we'll be happy to answer them, so leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next video.